We are back here with the Castle's Desk, soon to be ready with Complexity versus Fnatic, the second map in the best of 3 for the semi-finals here at Dreamhack Winter 2013. Any given Sunday was said by Scoots, unfortunately, is Saturday.
It is Saturday.
What does that mean for Complexity, do you think?
Really, again, what we talked about in the start of our little post-game is that they just need to forget about it. They need to forget about what happened there on DE Inferno and move on to what needs to happen on DE Mirage. And right now, it looks like both of these teams are actually trying to figure out exactly what they need to do. Of course, Fnatic, they're on a high right now.
Yeah, I think I mean, we're talking professional players here, and a lot of them with a long history in playing competitive esports. So I think for you and I to say forget about the last match that we just won so devastating, or that we lost so devastatingly, that might be difficult for these players. I actually think it's possible that they can put it off for a little while, but not if the start is bad. I think that's the main key. You could put it off in your mind and say, okay, new map, we'll do it now. We'll have a great start and then we'll just crush them. But if they don't have that great start, if they immediately run into the exact same pattern that they left on Inferno, then that's where it all comes from crashing down, I think.
I think the pistol round is going to be a big part of this round, of this map, and to kick things off here for Complexity. If they win the pistol round, it's going to set the momentum for them to moving forward here in the rest of this game. As we look at it, though, we're on Mirage, and for what we see of the new Mirage, we see a lot of A attacks and a lot of very effective A attacks, and I think this map, compared to our CE versions of it, is going to be a little bit more terror-sided.
I mean, it changes around so much, and I think a lot of teams haven't actually figured out completely how to sort of approach this map. Obviously, they've been putting a lot of time into practicing for it. There were some changes recently to the skyboxes, meaning you can throw some more smokes and flashbangs. That drew it a little bit back in sort of in terrorist favor. Right. Before that, it was really counter-terrorist favored, and I think now people are still just figuring out how it goes back and forth. But here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking Complexity's tournament life on the line here. If they do not win this map, then they get to go home. I think they already made it further than anyone would have predicted. In a tournament that featured Astana Dragons and Very Games and many other teams too. Complexity makes it to the semi-final, and they're not done yet, but they need a good start here in the pistol round.
Taking a look at the setup right out of the gates, we always tell you about Simphis and looking out for his pistols, and he starts things off and taking down one of the dominant players from the first map, being Flusha.
Yeah, that has got to feel very good, and that was basically a pixel shot as well in the middle. Absolutely ridiculous kill coming in there from Simphis. Now, a bit of a fake coming out here from Fnatic. They got Pronax sitting here, but actually his job is just to throw out some smokes like you normally would in the A-bomb site, and then the push is going to come to B, where Hiko is defending, and he spots the push. Great jump from Hiko. This makes all the difference in the world. Can he stay alive, though? They are going to run him over. He gets the kill anyway, and he keeps going. He's going to run out of bullets and will get taken down by JW, but Complexity know what's up.
Yeah, Simphis is already low on health. Almost it seems as if it's a 3-on-3 right now.
Yeah, it is indeed. Simphis on life support. He's going to be dropped as well. There's JW picking up the double kill. The bomb has gone down, and now Swag picking up one on JW. 2-on-2 situation. Pronax comes in, and at the exact same time, Devilwalk gets the kill on Swag. And there is the start that Fnatic needed, but not the one that Complexity was looking for.
Yeah, so we saw right out of the start, we noticed that Simphis was able to get that first pick, but then, like you mentioned, Pronax throwing out the smokes, throwing out the 2 flashes, and trying to draw some players over. He pulled away, actually, Simphis there from Kitchen to move back over there inside of mid, and then from there, they picked up the round. Of course, we saw what Fnatic did at the end part of there.
Yeah, I mean, the moment when Hiko jumps up and looks into the B hallways and sees 3 people coming, that's when Complexity should have basically had the round, because that gives away the whole fake from Fnatic. Instead, it doesn't quite work out like that, and now armor buy coming out from Complexity. Pronax already gets a kill on one, but they are dropping a little bit low. Flush and Schneider, and there's Schneider gone down, so there's an opening still here. 2-on-4 situation though. And one more going to go down now. It's all on Swag, and he hasn't picked up a rifle or anything.
Yeah, so you saw Devilwalk there to finish things off. Very aggressive play there by Complexity, chasing after those kills out inside of mid. Of course, it is just going to be a save round going in there for there. We're going to see another one to follow here.
Yeah, third round coming up, and obviously, you know, having the hour buy means now in this round, really no option for them to buy at all. I'm wondering what they're going to do though, if they're going to, yeah, so they're putting four people in the A bomb side and one person in B, and that makes a lot of sense to me. You know, you might as well gamble with it, because if you spread your cells out too thinly, don't think Fnatic are going to be picked off easily here. It's going to require something extraordinary.
Yeah, you're trying to take weapons away from your opponents here, but we're going to see that they're actually going to head over here towards the B bomb site. You've got Hiko, who's basically just checking over there inside of the apartments. He spotted at least one. Now he spotted a couple more. Now he knows for a fact that they're over there towards that B bomb site. But look out for the flank that's happening, and it's going to be watched by Devil Walk.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, if Devil Walk goes down here, maybe they can pick up the rifle and make something happen. Hiko does die in the bomb site, but Devil Walk actually manages to run out of there with his knife out all the way, and he's calling for backup.
So it looks like right now it's going to be left up here to Sean Cares. That's going to finish things off. And so the first 3 rounds, they carry over what they were doing from the first map there on Inferno. And so now we're going to see what happens here with our first actual gun round now.
Man, that is not what complexity we're looking for, but it's not done yet. Now they're going to be buying. There's a Vermaas here on Sean Gaz. We'll have to see if they can take this round. I feel like complexity must make it back and actually take this round.
All right, so we go ahead and take a look. The bomb has actually been dropped. We're going to see this kind of a default setup, and right now, the way that things are spread out, you've got Simphis and Hiko over there pushing up catwalk pretty quickly. They're actually going to give up the B apartments. They've got Sean Gares inside of mid watching the connector, and Nothing and Swag who are teamed up inside of the A bomb site. Pronax creeping there inside of the B apartments, trying to see if he can see Hiko anywhere. Again, each one of these players are just checking to see if they can find any of these players, but Nothing playing very close there on the A apartments.
So, I mean,
but he does have a teammate over there as well.
Yeah, and Fnatic are spending a lot of time, and you can kind of tell that they might try and do this because they actually put the bomb back in the T spawn. So now they've picked it up on Pronax, and he's coming over towards the A slope. So after having canvassed pretty much the whole map, Fnatic have decided it is time for an A push, and we've got 2 people defending in here. It's Swag and it's Nothing. And pretty close as well as Sean Gaz is, but this is going to be a brutal push in from Fnatic. 40 seconds on the clock. Here comes the smokes, here come the flashbangs, and they have to defend. The push is on. Nothing is going to fall back a little bit flush. I can't see a thing because of all those smokes. They keep going, and Fnatic taking a lot of damage early on here. Sean with the kill. Nothing picks up another one. Complexity are trying to hold. Schneider will pick up 2 in return, though, before Flusher drops down. 3-on-2 situation, and Fnatic haven't found a single opening yet. They will lose that round, and Complexity were quick on the rotation as well, so it works out beautifully for the American team. They are forced to rebuy 3 rifles, though, so it's not going to be completely flawless, but holding that round was absolutely pivotal for Complexity. If they let that one go, that would have been devastating.
So where things started at was whenever Nothing was underneath the balcony there at the A apartments. He actually, instead of trying to go after a kill or anything, he actually popped a smoke to cover his backside from the A ramp, and from there he was completely covered. He only had to worry about one area, and that was from the apartments.
Yeah, so very, very nicely done indeed. Fnatic, they made it out of the slope and sort of into the beginning of the bomb site, but they couldn't really get it going to the bot planting spot, and they never got the bomb down either, so that makes a big difference as well in their economic situation. And well, JW has picked up an AWP 4 AKs, and let's see if Complexity can do it one more time.
Well, interesting as Pronax actually backpedals into the crosshairs of Sean Gares. I like what they're doing here for Complexity. They're doing a lot of team shooting right now. They've got Simphis, who's just around the corner here.
Picks up one, goes for a second, and there it is, the double. And that's some really good holding. That was kind of what Fnatic, I mean, they needed that kill on Simphis to push on in.
Right, exactly. And so also what I was getting at is they have Hiko, who is playing their close cat right next to him in case Simphis was taken out. Hiko could have been right there to be able to give him some cover.
Yeah, so very good. I mean, nicely thought out there from Complexity. Good positions for them to hold. Now JW and Devil Walk. I mean, winning the round 2-on-4, there's always an opening, but their main focus right now should be doing some good economic damage to Complexity. Pick off a member or 2 would be very nice.
Yeah, so Nothing and Swag both picked up AKs here, and we'll see what they decide to do. They've got 15 seconds left here in the round, so they're for sure going to save it. But you can see how JW set up there to watch inside of mid if they decide to start to go ahead and chase after these kills. But like you mentioned, that Complexity doesn't have a lot of money to work with, and so they will just basically sit back and allow them, they'll just take this round here.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely the right move from Complexity. They need the money to start building up for themselves. They need the confidence as well. And anytime you survive a round with 5 members alive, you know you've done pretty well. The AWP and the AK will be saved on Fnatic, and that alone allows them to make another buy, even though it does involve 1 Galil, but it's just fine. We're now wondering if Fnatic are going to start playing some more fast rounds here. They've been slow the last 2 rounds, and it hasn't really paid off.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of base that Thorn was talking about. The default setup here from Fnatic. They left the bomb back in T-spawn. This is traditionally what we see from a lot of professional players. As we'll see that they've got 1 player who's going to be working there through that underpass. That's going to be Pronax.
Yeah, this is very common.
Yes.
Underpass push and going through the middle, sort of, you know, meeting up there, seeing if you can catch anyone off, and if you don't, well, then they're just going to fall back. It's what we're seeing right now on the map here. Semphis hoping to catch someone out, but they're all wrapping back around. Question is whether they go once they, well, they're going to go for the A-bomb site.
So that's going to put a lot of pressure there on Swag and Nothing. As you can see, Nothing's just around the corner. Swag, he's utilizing, he's actually ducked right behind this box, and he can take a quick peek over the top to be able to help out his teammates, just kind of head glitching over the top.
Yeah, this is not bad at all. They're going to flash out into the middle, and that will allow Sean to peek there. That flash that's right through, that was so Sean could peek in the middle, and now he doesn't see anyone, so they should definitely know that something is up here. Swag trying to hold. Grenade going to land. That might be a good grenade. Does absolutely no damage at all, so not really the best at all. Devil taking down Swag.
Wow.
Flusher with a kill. A good opening here. Sean has to stay alive, and right now he's being gunned down from all sides, and he will die to Pronax. It's going to be Hiko and Semphis alone. A flawless entry from Fnatic, and now these 2 Complexity players need to run.
So the way that's set up is, therefore, Complexity, it looks like they are picking off at least 1 more member. That was Pronax, who's going to be lurking about. The way that this map was set up here for the Complexity on the counter-terrorist side is basically to allow their teammates to rotate and give them enough time. Again, Nothing through that same exact smoke that he did prior. They had actually Swag, who kind of backed around to be right there with Nothing, and then we saw Sean Gears on the rotate, but this is what happened. Devilwalk spammed through the smoke and headshotted. I believe it was Swag that was inside of the smoke, and that right there basically kind of slowed things down. They're like, okay, we got to readapt here, and Nothing peeked out there at that point. He was taken down, and that's where Sean Gears was left alone while his teammates were trying to rotate to help out.
I also can't help but shake the feeling that maybe Sean could have been there maybe just 2 or 3 seconds earlier, because at the very moment when Swag throws out that flashbang into the middle and Sean looks, and it's a great little strategy, little trick there from Complexity, using the smoke to allow Sean to make sort of a clean peek in the middle. When he sees nobody there, that's a big tell. When there are no terrorists in the middle, you know something funky is up. So maybe they could have used that to their advantage as well. Now Flusher in the middle, gets overrun a little bit here. 2 people coming for him. Oh, he's not dead yet. He's trying to flash his way out. He will get shot down by Swag. Aggressive play from Complexity, taking over the middle, denying it to Fnatic, and that's a good start.
What's interesting is that Fnatic hasn't yet started to go ahead and push over here towards the A-bomb site. They do have Sean Gears watching over there towards that A-ramp, and Nothing playing his traditional spot there.
Oh no, Hiko doesn't get the right help. He was all alone up in those apartments there, and he got taken down from behind while he wasn't being covered by his teammates. Sean here is being smoked and flashed out. Semphis is going to go down. An opening from Schneider gets the kill as well, and now Fnatic are just on the hunt. They're 3 on 2, and they're not even worried about putting on the bomb yet. They're just going for the kills on Complexity.
This Fnatic team is ready to play. This is their day, and one of the things that we talk about time and time again is whether when you're hot, and right now Fnatic is. These players are just playing lights out. Having the chance to watch Schneider. Schneider peeks out of the apartments inside of A, and one-shots an offer being Sean Gears in the distance. They're playing lights out.
Yeah, this is really frightening. It truly is. And you have to wonder whether or not, because obviously there is already a team called NIP waiting in the grand finals for one of these 2 teams. And the way things are shaping up now, it looks like we could have a rematch of Dreamhack Summer Finals, which was the then Epsilon, but now Fnatic, basically the same lineup, only really Pro-X being added here. I mean, for NIP, they must be a little bit worried as well.
So there was a lot of talk about both NIP, varied games, as always. There's also a lot of talk about Complexity. Can they make it? But really kind of that subtle that not many people were talking about was this team Fnatic. And honestly, I think they're a team to be on the lookout for, especially earlier in the tournament when we were watching them play.
Well, it's an eco around here, so we got a little bit of time to talk.
Right.
I think one of the reasons why I wouldn't have counted Fnatic too highly for this tournament is simply the fact that they made the roster change for Pronax to Modi so close to this tournament. in my mind, I thought, okay, one thing is switching out of one rifler for another. That's still a big change. But when you switch in a new in-game leader and give a team, I mean, we're talking days to practice, you really can't expect big things.